Pretty. Day 3. Its early days with my sanity is more or less intact. Current word count? 3,615. Caught up. From 84? Proof it can be done. I write in chapters. It's just how I think. Is 3,300 words too long for a first chapter? I'm genuinely concerned about this. I'm a big fan of the short snappy chapter to begin a story. It'll work out in revision. Right? Okay. So stealing. You'll often hear phrases like there's no such thing as a new idea. But it's not true! Lies? Lying is fun. It's totally true. Okay, so like most things, there's an element of truth in some grey areas. But not 50 shades of grey, more like a continuum of incremental imperceptible deviations. Example, a young man being taught ancient magics betrays his teachers, takes over the world, ensures his immortality by making magical objects and binding his soul. Voldemort from Harry Potter. Wrong! Sauron the Deceiver from Lord of the Rings. So J.K. Rowling took the idea of a Dark Lord pouring his cruelty, malice and will to dominate all life into a ring and multiplied it by 7. When the one ring is destroyed, Sauron dies. When the 7 Horcruxes are destroyed, Voldemort dies. So what else do J.K. Rowling and J.R. Tolkien have in common? Jesus. Specifically the idea that one man knowingly sacrifices his life to save all mankind. For J.K. Rowling, this is Harry Potter, who has to face the fact that in order to defeat the devil, he needs to sacrifice his own life. And die. For Tolkien, this is clearly Frodo and the Mountain of Fire, Gandalf and the Balrog, Aragorn and the King of the Dead. So J.K. Rowling was a bit greedy with one rings. And J.R. Tolkien was a bit greedy with Jesus's. Jesus-I? Of course, Tolkien's idea for a cursed ring came from Germanic folklore, and his treants, you guessed it, Macbeth. Fear not till burn and wood do come to Dunstanane, and now a wood comes towards Dunstanane. So where am I going with this? Writing is like painting. Ideas are like colours. You don't learn techniques in a vacuum. You learn through imitation. As you learn and develop your style, you learn the rules and you break them. Recombination is the essence of creation. It's about taking the ideas you like and doing it your way. And if you're the arrogant sort, you take the ideas you like and you make them better. So use wands, vampires, Death Stars. Please use Ewoks. They are adorable. Do whatever. It's your writing. Now I have a little problem. It's kind of come to my attention that 90% of the books I've read were written over 100 years ago. Now this is by no means a bad thing, but I think I might be missing out on something. Especially modern young adult fiction. My reading lately has been restricted to Jane Austen and Terry Pratchett and psychology journals. Now that would be a weird mashup. Weird or awesome. So today I'm going to get a library membership, as in like a public library. There are plenty of copies of Jane Austen at the university library, but John Green, not so much. Well, they have them, but they're on a completely different campus from where I studied English, which I think is unfortunate. I recently read A Fault in Our Stars, by John Green of course. And first I was all like, then I was more like, good book. So if anyone has any suggestions, might just pick up a book with a cool looking cover. I'm a bit terrible like that. Also, gotta write. What are ideas without writing? So if you had some idea about cyborg Ewoks trying to defeat the Dark Lord of a Living Wood, please write it, by all means. Whew, learned a lesson there. Write it. You are not stealing, you are creating. Bye. Actually, if someone wants to write that Ewok book, that would be awesome.